Very special episode today. NASCAR Xfinity Series points leader and two-time winner this year, Noah Gragson, joins the show. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric and welcome to Out of the Groove. Earlier this morning, I had the great opportunity to speak with Noah Gragson. I asked him about his 2020 season so far, 2 wins already. I also asked him what it's like driving for Dale Earnhardt Jr. at Junior Motorsports and comparing that to his time with Kyle Busch at KBM. We talked about him being in a contract year and how that motivates the way he races, knowing that his future is not clear at the moment. It was honestly one of my favorite interviews I've done. Had a lot of fun talking to Noah this morning, so without further ado, let's go to it now. My interview with Xfinity Series points leader, Noah Gragson. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Out of the Groove. This week, I have the great pleasure of being joined by Xfinity Series driver, Noah Gragson. How's it going today, man? Thanks for being on.
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
I always wonder, is it Gragson or how do people pronounce it? Because I've heard it multiple ways. Am I getting it right?
It's, I think it's Gragson, but okay. A lot of people say Gragson. So.
I heard Gragson, and I thought, it can't be right. That's an A, isn't that? But I guess if you say it's Gragson, okay, well,
I think so, but I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but I don't know. That's just how my parents told me to say it. So.
It's like from Fox to NBC when I'm watching the races, everyone has a different way of pronouncing it. Well, anyway, I appreciate you being on here, taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the show. Straight off a top 10 at Talladega. I want to start because at the end of that race, you had a great run going. You obviously came back to finish top 10, but what is it like? How much of like an oh crap moment is it when you're sitting 90 degrees on the front stretch at Talladega in front of a whole pack?
It's not very comfortable. I know that. It's one of those deals where like I got loose and the track was pretty loose all day. I mean, we were on top of the track and slipping and sliding and whatnot. So, it was pretty sketchy out there all day and through the trial. Well, there's really big seams between each lane. And so when you get your right side tires caught on there or your left sides and you turn across it gets pretty sketchy. So, it's just a racing moment. I was following the 10 and thought I could shoot to his outside and have my teammates behind me, and he went up to block and I went to turn left and the thing just spun out on me. So definitely really sketchy. Last year I spun through the trial. I got into it with Reddick and he got me in the right front and turned me and I hit the inside wall. And so that's what I was most nervous about, is trying to save the race car as best as possible, and was able to keep it clean, flat spotted the tires and blew the tires out. But other than that, the car didn't have a scratch on it. So it was definitely really scary. I thought when I came back up the racetrack, I was hoping there wasn't any guys behind me that checked up or used ARCA brakes or anything and drilled me, from the back, because they probably would have climbed over me and I don't know, it would have been bad. So luckily we kept it safe though.
Yeah, things can go bad very quickly at Talladega, but you bounced back and you actually ended up still finishing in the top 10, so kept a good momentum, I suppose, going forward. But you're already a 2-time winner here in 2020. You've won at a couple of the most iconic tracks in the sport. I have to ask, what was it like getting your first Xfinity victory at Daytona, of all places?
It was pretty cool to be able to win at Daytona. I went there for the first time back in 2016 for our ARCA test, and I wasn't old enough to race the ARCA race there, but I was old enough to test, and I'm like, man, this is a pretty cool track. A lot of history, a lot of it's probably one of the most badass tracks in the world. Just all the history and just the way it is with all the banking and how fast it is. And, one of the biggest races with the Daytona 500. So to just be able to race there, I was really fortunate to do and to be able to win. It's one of those things where it's like, dang, this is a big deal, not everybody gets to win at Daytona, and definitely tried to live the experience up and tried to make the most of it and just appreciate the moment, because I don't know if I'll ever be able to win at Daytona ever again. So definitely going to try my best, but one of those moments where it's just like, man, this is really cool.
Yeah, you're known for your sort of memorable, often kind of free-form post-race celebrations. Do you plan any of that stuff, or is that all kind of spur of the moment, just when you're excited?
It's kind of like adding on each time, like they get longer and longer. I feel like
I just like the campfire, the burning rubber. That's stuck out to me as very memorable, in my opinion.
I figured they're all going to be a little bit different. And I just like I know if I win, I'm going to go climb the fence, fans or no fans. And I climbed the fence in Bristol. That was kind of weird because there's no fans there. But yeah, I just like having fun with it. Just being me on the racetrack. I mean, when you win a race, you kind of feel like King Kong. Like nothing can really stop you, like in that moment. And so, I like to jump up on the roof and then go climb the fence, and I don't know, kind of figure it out from there. So it's fun.
I know as a fan and other fans I talk to, everyone really appreciates it. Too often people get out of the car and are just kind of a little fist pump, all right, we won, great job. But we like it when drivers kind of have some fun and really take in the whole moment. But we talked about this year. You already got 2 wins. You're actually leading the points right now. Last year was your rookie year in Xfinity. And I thought it was a pretty good rookie season. But in my opinion, you've probably taken, I'd say, the biggest step forward of any Xfinity regular this year that I've seen. So what has been the biggest difference so far in 2020, you think?
Just confidence, really. Just I've taken the approach of maybe not trying to be as serious and just going to have fun. Like I just been just trying to race as hard as I can and be as hung out sideways as I can, and just trying to put on a show for all the fans. Like that's kind of how I feel like I am. Like if I can make like a cool move, make it 4 wide or something, and sometimes it works and sometimes most of the time it doesn't work. But like the way I kind of see a good race car driver when I was growing up and still now is like there's somebody that can do, like I call it like a wow moment. If I see somebody and I'm like, wow, that was badass. Like, I don't know how they made that work. Like, I feel like that's the kind of race car driver I strive to be.
That's what sticks
like,
out to you.
How can I have people watching me and be like, wow, what he just did right there was crazy. Like, I don't know how he did it. So that's kind of what I don't try to do that in the race. It's just my natural driving style, I feel like.
Yeah, well, we saw a lot of that at Homestead when you dominated a couple of those long runs, some of the slide jobs you were throwing in. Like, you were driving that car in deeper than I think anyone else even was thought possible. So I think you accomplished it that weekend, even though I know the results didn't quite pan out the way you hoped for. But that's awesome. I want to ask you a little bit about, so you've driven for 2 of the most recognizable names in the NASCAR period. You've won races for Kyle Busch in trucks. You're now winning for Dale Jr. In Xfinity. Everyone knows about those 2 guys as drivers, but I want to know a little bit from your perspective as someone who's driven for both of them. How do the 2 of them differ, perhaps, as team owners?
There's definitely some similarities and some differences, but I feel like, to me, my personality is I really enjoyed running over at Kyle Busch Motorsports, and Kyle was great and everything, but I feel like just the atmosphere at Junior Motorsports, it's just welcoming to my personality. You got a bunch of different kind of characters here who love coming to work every day. Not saying that the guys at Kyle Busch Motorsports don't. It fits me better. So I'm really, really fortunate, and I feel like I've found my home here, and they allow me to be myself, and personality wise. And it's more than just racing here. It's the brand. It's how we can improve. It's how we can be just a family, So at Kyle Busch Motorsports, I really loved the group of guys I was able to work with. I loved the running the truck series, the super late models. It was really fun. And but there's just something on my chest where I didn't feel like I could fully be myself, and that's where I always felt like I had to prove something. Here I don't feel like I have to prove something. I just be me, and I'm not trying to be someone else. Like, I'm just able to be myself, and I feel like that's how I can to be the best I can be is just be myself, and that's how I focus the best.
Yeah, well, we've definitely seen that come through this year, without a doubt. Well, I appreciate you answering that. Another question, I've asked this to a few different drivers. I've gotten a few slightly different answers, but I want to ask you, what's it like racing without fans in the stands? I know you guys had some fans back at Homestead, but still, it's not quite the same thing. Like, what's that experience like, being so quiet on race day?
Well, Eric, it's been weird, dude. It's really weird. Like, you go to Bristol, and, well, let me backtrack. You go to Darlington, and, like, it's weird, there's nothing in the infield when you roll in for
Mm-hmm.
the first weekend and you're like, man, this is weird. But you get on track and you're like, man, this feels like normal. I'm
Mm-hmm.
racing like nothing. Then you get out after the race and the guy does his interview on the PA system and you're waiting to hear like the whole crowd cheer and you're looking up and
Yeah.
there's nobody. Like it's just silent right after the
Mm-hmm.
race. Then you go to Charlotte and you're like, okay, same deal. And then you go to Bristol and you're used to just not being able to hear anything in that place and looking up during the national anthem and the prayer. You're just got your hand over your heart and you're like, man, this feels weird. Like that's where it really hit me is like, man, it doesn't feel right. And so I think maybe we take it for granted what the feeling of having the fans is like there. And that's what hit me is like, man, this is crazy not having the fans here. Like it felt eerie. It
Mm-hmm.
felt different. It didn't feel right. And so with that being said, like we're doing everything to get the fans back. And I know NASCAR is, and I can't wait to get the fans back and I miss it. But there's been a lot of pros. There's been a lot of cons, a lot more cons than pros, but it just feels different once you get to the racetrack. Feels like old school racing. You just get to the track, you go race, and like I enjoy both. I enjoy seeing the fans and more than anything, but I kind of have enjoyed just going to the racetrack and just racing. But I know the fans are really, really important to myself. I try to take as much time as I can to interact with them on social media and interact with them at the track. But I've noticed that it takes my mind off the racing, and I don't know if that's why I've been running good lately. And I don't mean any disrespect with that, but it just feels more like I could put more time and energy into thinking about racing than because I put a lot of time and energy to trying to please the fans and connect with them and take some time out to be able to interact with them. So I don't know. We'll see when we get fans back, but definitely you use your energy interacting with them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I know a lot of people hoping to get fans back as soon and as safely as possible, but that is interesting. That's an interesting idea. I guess you're in kind of like a bubble there.
Yep.
You're very focused from kind of the moment you, I guess, arrive at the track, because it's always same day, to then the time the race starts. So you don't really have any of those distractions. As fun as some of those distractions are, I guess that is a difference. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but that's an interesting perspective. So I do have to ask about this year. Well, I mean, you're leading the points, won races and everything. It hasn't been entirely smooth sailing for you. Of course, Bristol, you got into your teammate for the win. I'm sure that led to some interesting conversations. But you said afterwards that Justin Allgaier probably owes you one for that. I want to know, like, how do these types of driver conflicts differ when it's your teammate versus when it's maybe just another driver in the field?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I expect like if he's in that position, like I really do expect like him to throw it in there and win the race for himself. Like
Uh-huh.
obviously you're gonna be probably mad in the moment, but like it is what it is. I Justin's a great friend to me, a great teammate. I going back probably I don't know would do some things differently and do some things the same. So I have a great friendship with Justin. I mean, what happens on the racetrack. We've had our knockout dragouts and um, screaming at each other and whatnot. And but at the end of the day, we're friends. At the end of the day, I have a lot of respect for his family, his wife, his daughter. I mean, um, his daughter calls me Uncle Noah. So Justin and we worked really well this weekend at Talladega. Like I love that dude. He is awesome. So um, stuff's going to happen sometimes, and it's not always going to be smooth sailing. But I really appreciate his friendship because I feel like no matter what happens, it might be rough, it might be just not ideal, but we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get over it. We're gonna get through it, and we're gonna get back to how it was. And I feel like he's just the perfect example of a good person, a good teammate.
Now, before I let you go, Noah, I have to ask you about the future, because you said recently that you don't know exactly what your plan is for 2021. So I will have to ask, have you had any sort of conversations regarding future years with your current team, with anybody else? Have any of those conversations started to happen yet, or when do you think that might begin?
Like it'd be a dream of mine to run a third year with Junior Motorsports. Quite honestly, I don't really know. Like it's still really early in the season, so that would be my best bet, and really like trying to do everything if I could run a third year. But like right now, like I'm just trying to do the best job as possible. Like just trying to win races, make myself more attractive. You know, if we can win more races for Junior Motorsports, I'll make ourselves more attractive for that, and just trying to learn every day. I know that kind of phrase gets like it just gets used a lot, but I feel like it's true. Like I'm just trying to be the best person I can be each day, and trying to go the extra mile in everything I do. You know, there's a lot of people within this sport and the community, whether it be working out or should even do or shoot even doing the driver debrief deal. Just trying to be the best I can be doing that, and doing interviews and stuff, and be the best I can for the team. So I think everything adds up. But yeah, just trying to mature, trying to keep focused, keep confident, and trying to win races at the end of the day. I mean, if we can win a lot of races this year, which we're trying to do, I think we're just a third of the way through the season right now, maybe a little over that. If it's definitely a weird season, but I'm trying my tail off just to get any opportunity I can. Obviously, the guys at Junior Motorsports, they really like me, Kelly, LW. I really enjoy running over here, and so to answer your question, yeah, if I could run a third year here, it'd be the dream for me. That's what I'm trying to shoot for right now. But I know they really like me here, and I really like them. It just at the end of the day comes down to whoever your partners can be, and just trying to keep everybody on the train tracks, and keep everything going.
Certainly. Well, another year of Junior Motorsports, if that means another year of the Neon Bass Pro scheme out there, heck, I'm all for it. That'd be fun to watch.
That's
Yeah.
right, baby.
Heck yeah. Is it difficult to stay focused on this season, though, knowing that future is uncertain, or is it kind of just what drives you?
I think it drives me. Yeah, I think it keeps me going. Like I've been like really just trying to have fun. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be racing for another 20 years or racing next weekend. Like it could all end so fast. So like I try to like just make the most out of each and every day. Not even like at the racetrack, but just like every single day. Like I like to have fun, and I think that's why I'm like pretty chubby, is because like I try and make my last. Like I don't know when my last meal is going to be, but it's the same kind of. I don't know if it's a formula I use or a strategy, but I feel like if I am driving home after dinner tonight, like I'm gonna want to have, and like I get in a car crash and like I'm not here anymore, I want to have like a really good meal for like my last meal.
Live
Like
each moment
something
like
I
it's your
enjoy.
last, then.
Not like a salad or something. Like I want to have like a good cheeseburger or something. So that's probably why I'm chubby, and that's kind of how I live my life in general. Like I just try to have as much fun as possible.
I like it. That's awesome. Well, no, I'll be rooting for you the rest of this season for sure. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I'm sure everyone watching at home enjoyed it. But yeah, good luck with the rest of this year. Good luck at Pocono this weekend. I appreciate you being on the show.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, buddy.
Once again, a huge thank you to Noah for coming on the show, finding some time in between competition meetings to be on Out of the Groove. That was super awesome. I hope you all enjoyed that. I've got some other videos planned later this week, so subscribe if you are new. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Of course, a big thank you to my Patreon supporters. I could not keep doing this show at the rate I've been doing this show without the support I get from each and every single one of you on Patreon. So if you also want to help support the show and support the channel moving forward, please check out that top link down in the description. I greatly appreciate it. Once again, a big thank you to Noah Gragson for coming on the show and talking to us for a little while there. That was a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you again very, very soon. Take care, y'all.